What's better than a Weber Kettle roasted chicken? 4 Weber Kettle roasted chickens, and today we're pushing this grill to its feathered limits. Now, this is the way you roast multiple chickens in a Weber Kettle without stuffing a beer can up its bum. Smack! Oh. You'll need 4 birds that are roughly the same weight, like these 1.8 kilogram birds. It's like picking your favourite harem, isn't it, Mick? Showing up there. For those that don't know, Mick is my butcher out at Gippsland Premium Meats. Prepping the birds is easy enough. You're just going to need some butcher's twine. We need to bring the limbs all close to the body so it cooks more evenly. So I like to truss my chickens. Starting at the neck, I like to wrap the butcher's twine around the wings, which will hold them in place. And then we're just going to tie this off underneath the breast, nice and tight. Make it a double knot just so it can't escape, and I'll bring it around just so you can see the legs. And what you want to do is you want the legs to cross over like that. So using the same twine, we're going to tie the legs off into place. There we go, like that. And it goes without saying, remove the excess. You've now got one perfectly trussed chicken. You just need to do it 3 more times and resist the urge on naming them. Time to add some much needed flavour. Oil up the birds first. I like to start on their backs, brushing on rice bran oil. It has a high smoke point and a neutral taste, and it won't turn your chicken into an arson investigation. Now, once their backs are all oiled up and they're waiting for the next stage, it's time to spice things up. Literally, I've made the perfect roast chicken seasoning. Don't believe me? Give it a try and tell me I'm wrong. I dare you. Now, pro tip, when using a rub shaker, apply the rub from around 30 centimetres above your food. What this does is allows those particles to separate before they make contact with what you're cooking. You don't get clumping and you get much more even coverage. And that way your food tastes exactly the same from the top to the bottom. Now we can flip them all over. And this time we're going to oil the fronts and the sides of the chicken like they're little sunbathers on the beach. Don't forget to hit the sides and the tops. Seasoning is just camouflage for your incompetence, but delicious camouflage. Today we're using a 57 centimetre Weber Kettle and we're pairing it up with the snake pit. That's going to give us even cooking at 240 degrees Celsius today. Now, that is hot enough to cook the birds, but not my eyebrows. And for fuel, I'm going with Heat Beads Lump Charcoal because today's cook is less about a roast and more about a poultry-based festival. Once the lid's on, we want to open all the vents and we're going to monitor that temp and stabilise it for 30 minutes. With 4 chickens going in, I actually reach 30 degrees Celsius above my target temp. This is going to help with that meat heat absorption that you get when you put a big piece of meat in a small barbecue. It's like preheating your oven if it was round, black and smells of adventure. Today's cook will take roughly 1 hour and 30 minutes. Or for those of you who love to follow my beer timer, you're looking at a 3-beer cook. Fun fact, meat cooks slower when you look at it. So crack a beer and look away. The temp is stable, so it's time to load the flock. Now look at them, all snug and seasoned. They almost look relaxed. Oh, probably because I didn't try and shove one of these up their clacker like some of you weirdos out there. Beer can chicken, stop doing it. Now we just need to insert a probe into the thickest part of the breast. We're chasing 74 degrees Celsius here to be classed as no death chicken. Put the lid back on and don't peek, don't poke, don't do anything until that thermometer screams out, it's showtime. All right, time to learn something. The Weber lid vent creates a hot spot. Air flows in from below through the coals and then force out this lid vent like a fart in a wind tunnel. So to stop one side of your food turning to charcoal and the other side crying for some heat, I recommend grabbing a heat-proof glove, putting it on the wires for the thermometer and spinning the lid a third of the way every 20 minutes during the cook. Rotating the lid ensures even airflow. Not rotating the lid ensures burnt shame. We are 1 hour and 30 minutes in, and that thermometer now says 74 degrees Celsius. Look at that golden roasted perfection. But we're not done yet. We do need to check all the other birds. Now, each one needs to be reading 74 degrees Celsius in the breast. It's like a group project. They all have to work together. And the only way you're going to know if they are reading that is by using a thermometer. Now, you can ask them if they're done, but I don't think they're going to answer back. Are you done yet? But short of that, we can remove the thermometers. They're just not needed anymore. Now, all the birds are at temp, so it's just time to pull them off. And the rule of thumb for resting chicken or any type of meat is 1 minute per 100 grams. This just allows the fibers in the meat to relax and all the juices are going to redistribute. Resting the meat redistributes the moisture. Also, chickens appreciate the post-sauna nap. If this video is making you drool just a little bit, give it a like, hit the subscribe button and share this video with a mate who still thinks beer can chicken is gourmet. Cheers. It's finally time to carve. Oh. Look at that juice. That's not a drip, that's a waterfall of flavour.